Welcome to Words of Light for Today, a teaching ministry that shares godly principles while giving spiritual insight and divine revelation from the Word of God for the everydayness life brings. Be richly blessed as we join Linda Adkins.
Within this divine righteousness that we talked about, there is all kind of energizing power. All kind. Howard says, well, you got to get up at 5 o'clock. Can you do that? I said, do I have to? Yes. Then I'll do it. But otherwise, if I don't have to, I don't want to know that 5 o'clock's on the... I don't want to know that there's a 5 o'clock. But you see, the thing of it is, what he's trying to do is show us how to get involved with this. How to allow this spirit of righteousness to just meld to the fibers of our being, our minds, so that we're not whining or grumbling or complaining. Now, Proverbs is where I'm going. Proverbs chapter 3. Listen to this. Trust the Lord, verse 5. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Do not depend on your own understanding. Seek His will in all you do, and He will show you which path to take. Now, the King James says this. He says, trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not unto your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He will direct your path. Seek His will, this says. Seek His will in all you do, and He will show you which path to take. Now let's listen to this scenario for just a second. A person spends an entire day walking from point A to point B with his friend. But he speaks to his friend only a little that morning and just mumbles a few words that night before falling asleep with the same friend and ignoring the rest of the day. Now just think about that. He walks all day long with this friend. Sound like some of you? Walks all day long with this friend. Said a few things to him that morning. Hello, how are you? Good. Walks together, mumbles a few things before it gets dark, and falls asleep, and the rest of it is... Now, what do you think, what kind of assessment do you think that friend had? Even two introverted friends will say a little bit. They'll say things like what they have in common and, the interests that they have to some extent. Even introverted people. Just think about that for a minute. Have you ever ridden in the car for a long way and not said a word to the one that's with you? Yeah, you have. Now, listen to this. There is no better friend to you than God. No better friend. No better friend. And we need to discuss with Him every single part, every single occurrence, every single event in our day. We need to discuss with Him what you eat, what you don't eat, what you want, what you don't want, what you want to buy, what you don't want to buy. You need to discuss with Him how you spend your time thinking. Do you know you need to be aware of how your mind's running. You've said things like, oh, you know what, I just let my mind run away with me. Well, you ought not do that, because it will. It'll carry you places that you'll have to have help getting back. You need to discuss with Him every single thing, because, listen to me, because your entire day is filled with decisions. Your entire day has got decisions in it. And He says if you will seek His will in all that you do, He will show you which path to take. He will show you. He will show you. There are significant things that God needs to show us on a daily basis. How to respond to other people. How to respond to what they said. How to respond to our own emotions and attitude. How to respond to those things. When you sense an attitude or a mood change in you, you need to stop that thing right away, because the mood change will come out your mouth. And something simple that someone asks you, or a question they ask you, will cause an explosion if you don't watch how your thinking is running and how your attitude, your response to people can either be that of what Jesus would say or explosion. You just blow all over them. Now listen to me. Why should I discuss with Him what I need to eat and what I don't? Because you know what? He's told me things. He's told me things to eat and things to drink that would correct some things that was going on in my system, in my physical body. So you need to discuss with Him. And I'm not talking about falling down on your face. These are prayers. These are conversations that you can have with Him just walking. And this constitutes praying without ceasing, talking without ceasing. I talk to Him all the time. When you're going, when you're coming back, when you see someone, I begin to pray for them. I see some things there, and I'm asking you to fix it and to bring them to the place where they see what they need to see. I want you to open their eyes to that. And see, He hears me. He hears me. The scripture says when you know He hears you, then you know you have your petition. So I know He hears me. I'm praying in a way that He will listen. I'm talking in a way that He will listen. Seek His will in all you do. You shouldn't make decisions without consulting Him. When you consult Him, your path is opened up and illuminated, and you see the way you're supposed to go. You see the way that's designed for you. Or, you know what? We tend to make decisions ourselves. I don't need anybody to tell me that, and I don't really have to pray about that, because, I'm smart enough to make my own decisions. But your decisions is based on human nature, and your nature at that. So if you don't ask Him, if you don't bow your head unto Him, then your human nature will declare what you want to hear. Your mind will tell you, and you will feel totally self-sufficient. I don't need anything. And see, what does that sound like? The church at Laodicea. They were rich and had plenty and had need of nothing. They didn't ask God anything. They didn't see the need to. But you see, decisions based on, comes out of your nature or what you see or how you, but we need constant discernment.
Yes, amen.
We need constant realization. You know, my season in this has changed. Maybe I should go in a different direction. And if you say that to the Lord, He'll show you that the path that He's opened up for you for now in this season. Things come to a close. Goodness me. You see, when you get self-sufficient, that is directly contrary to what Jesus said. Now, you don't have to get on your knees to do this. You can just go right where you are, pray right where you are, speak right where you are. God, I need you to show me what I'm supposed to do about this. I need you to open this up for me. I need you to send me the right people or send me to the right people. I've got to have a door opened in this. And I believe you to show me. And see, you don't have to kneel down to do that. You can just keep on walking. Just keep on doing what you're doing. But you're not with somebody all day long. There's times when you have got a few minutes right to yourself, and that is the greatest time in the world to talk to the very best friend that you've got and to seek His will. If you go on down to verse 7, here's what it says. Don't be impressed with your own wisdom. Don't be impressed with your own wisdom. Instead, fear the Lord and turn away from evil. What is evil? What kind of evil is he talking about here? He's not talking about just doing something ugly. He's talking about doing something outside faith. You see, when you do something outside faith, it's evil, it's sin. So he's warning you, don't do. Turn away from that. Turn away from doing things on your own and out of your own spirit. Well, you know, I've done that for 40 years. I don't care. He knows which way you should go. Seek His will. In all your ways, trust the Lord. Seek His will, and He will show you which path you should take. Oh my. Then you will have healing for your body, spiritual condition, physical condition is inseparably connected. You can't disconnect that. You get wounds. I've got a wound here. And you know, a wound, a cut like this, stuck in the wrong place can allow germs and all kinds of bacteria to get in there until you can get flesh-eating bacteria in there and lose your whole or your life. Sepsis just from a little cut like this. And you can let wounds get in your spirit. Wounds in your soul. Wounds. Not forgiving. Aggravation with people. Grumbling, complaining, wounds, that's wounds. That's wounds. And it does damage to your spiritual condition. Your physical condition, your spiritual condition, whether you are holy or not, are inseparably connected. The more you grumble and complain, the sicker you can get. The more unforgiveness that you carry around, the more aggravation, the more anger, the more fear, the more that kind of stuff you see, you cause poison to be spread through your body. It seeps out. It seeps out of your heart your soul, your thinking, and gets into your body. What we need is to silently ask Him. If you can't pray, if people are around you all the time and you can't say things, you can't just talk to God, then you need to silently say to Him, please bring your light to bear on everything that I need your light to shine on. Please, please, don't leave me in the dark. Show my spiritual eyes. I want the eyes of my understanding to be opened and enlightened. Please cause what I need, the supply of my need, to be opened up to me. He wants us to ask Him for strength and courage and understanding. And He wants us, let this righteousness show on my face. I know that these things are going on around me, but let my joy show to these people that I'm working around. There's no higher ministry call. There's no greater ministry than for people to see that something didn't tear you all to pieces. We need to talk to Him. If you walk from point A to point B with a person and you never say a word but grunt, how you doing? Everything okay? And you never say anything else. Bye. Well, bye-bye. You just walk all day long, never say a word, never say a word, never say a word to a friend. You know what? I wouldn't walk with you anymore. I wouldn't walk with you anymore. But this is how we do Him. We don't, we think prayer is something that we got to get down and spend 2 hours on. But He just wants to talk. He wants to talk. He wants to talk. And He wants to talk to you. And He wants you to talk to Him. He wants you to say, open my eyes of understanding. Help me to see how to move through this. I'm coming up on an intersection here, and I have got to make a decision. Which way do I go? I am seeking your will. That's the kind of friend He wants. And you know what? That friend can be sure He's going to show him. He's not going to leave you in the dark, because you're apt to make a mistake. And sometimes you get up that road, and then when you get so far into it, it's almost impossible to turn around. And this is not where I'm supposed to be. This is not what I'm supposed to be doing. But you see, we walked all day, and didn't say a word. How sad is that? How sad is that? Let's see what Jesus said about it. Jesus had something to say about everything. He says this, watch out. Don't let your hearts be dulled by carousing or drunkenness. Now listen, most people that would want to read the words of Jesus don't carouse and they're not drunk. What this means is that you let your mind wander. And you get drunk on your own wisdom and your own ability. Oh yeah, I know how to do that. I've been doing that for years. He says this, watch out. Don't let your hearts be dulled by carousing and drunkenness, and listen, and by the worries of this life. Worries, 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 worries. Am I going to get a promotion? Am I going to get a raise? Am I going to get this? Am I going to get that? You know what your prayer should be first thing in the morning? Help me like the day. God, just help me like this day I'm in. I'm grateful to you that I woke up and found myself here. Because you know what? One day you'll wake up and you ain't there. And you'll realize, well, if I'm standing up here and I see me laying there, what's the problem? Well, you just separated your spirit from your body. And your body stays there, and you're going to whoever you talk to the most. He says this, he says, don't be dulled by the worries of the day. Don't let the day catch you unaware like a trap. It's a trap. Without talking to the Lord, walking all day without saying a word to God is like a trap. You're trapped. You don't know what to do. You might think you're smart. You might think you have plenty of goodies, but I'm telling you right now, you need the wisdom of God. Every time I wanted Howard to give me one more little thing during that storm, I said, Howard, can you get me some hot water? Well, hot water, I'll think about it. And so he thought about what he could do, and it didn't work. I said, well, Howard, if you'll come in here and just sit down and tell Jesus, he'll show you how to do it. And see, that might be an easier thing for women to do than it is for men to do, but men, you better start doing it. Because you're going to come to the end of what you know. So he went and sat in his chair for a few minutes. He got up, went and got me some hot water. Okay, you got hot water now. I said, well, Howard, since you got me some hot water, don't you think you could fix my dryer so I could dry some clothes? Well, let me think about it. I said, okay. He come back in, he said, I don't know if I can hook that dryer up. I said, well, Howard, sit down. Every time he said that, I'd say, sit down and ask the Lord, and he'll tell you what to do. He'll show you how to do it. And then I was hot, and I wanted that air conditioner. So he went and got one brand new. He had one in a box. Went and got it, stuck it in the window. So he put it all in there right by himself, didn't tell anybody. When they come back to the house, the bedroom was all cool. You know why? Because you sit down and you ask. You talk to your friend. What's wrong with me? I feel sick in my body. Well, you're eating too much of this. You're eating too much of that. You shouldn't eat that. That's not good for your system. Your pH is off. That's what he said to me the other day. Your pH is off. So I got some things that tested the pH, and it was off really bad. And so I started building my pH back up, and I feel better. You see, what should I eat? What do I don't? I'm not asking what I should eat. Well, don't. And before long, somebody will call and say, will you pray for them because they're sick? You see, it's you can't get it separated. Your spiritual from your physical. It's connected. It's inseparably connected. So that's why he says, ask me. Ask me. Ask me. So he says, he's just so good. Don't let the day catch you unaware like a trap, for that day will come upon everyone living on the earth. Keep alert at all times and pray and pray that you might be strong enough to escape these coming horrors and stand before the Son of Man. Pray that you're strong enough. Oh my. So he says, seek His will in all that you do, and He will show you which path to take. Don't be impressed with your own wisdom. Don't sit down and try to figure it out on paper. Everything looks good on paper. Talk to Him. Don't go all day. Don't take long trips with Him and not say anything. If you do me that way, I'm assessing the thing and I'm saying you don't really want to be around me, or you'd say a little something. Don't be impressed with your own wisdom. Instead, fear the Lord and turn away from evil. Then you will have healing for your body and strength for your bones. Your bones. You see, one of the worst cancers there is cancer of the bone. You know why? Because they can't do anything about it. Can't do anything about it. But you see, if you keep your pH high and you keep your spiritual condition high, then you'll have strength for your bones. You see, this is the same component. He's wanting us to see the same component that Enoch had. Enoch, he wants more Enochs. Enoch walked with God. He didn't stay in a prayer closet. He walked with God. And God talked to him, told him all kinds of things. He gave him discernment. If He gave it to Enoch, He can give it to us. If I can understand, then you can understand. If I can get a word from God, then you can get a word from God.
You have been watching Words of Light for Today with Linda Adkins. For prayer or a free CD of today's message, please call 904-289-9727. Visit our website at wordsoflight.org, where you may order explosive and anointed teaching messages or other great resources from our bookstore. Be blessed and join Linda Adkins next time as she brings Words of Light for Today.